After the birth of my daughter, my sacrum settled back in my pelvis a little bit crooked. So for the first several months that she was alive, I was just in excruciating pain in everything that I did. Walking, sitting, rolling over, even sleeping at night. I had pain all the time. And one day I was like, I've got to get this baby out of the house. I've got to move my body. So I bundled her all up against the December temperatures and tucked her in her little snuggly baby carrier and went out for a walk. And as I was walking down my road, one of my neighbor's dogs on the end of a rope startled me and just ran to the end of his rope and was barking and barking and barking and barking for probably a good 1/10 of a mile as we approached past and then walked past him. And as we walked by him, I said under my breath, "Shut up," like the most just absolute disdain and disgust. And it was one of those aha moments for me where I realized how important the work is that we do at the yoga studio. Because no matter who you are, when you're in pain and when you're suffering, it's really hard to be a nice person. It's really hard to be like friendly and kind and courteous everywhere you go when you feel like garbage all the time. Our practice of yoga and Pilates isn't just an add-on, an extra, or a frivolous expense, right? It's time well spent in helping us to be our best selves. When we're feeling our bests, when we're not in pain, when we can cope with and manage stress, we're much more effective at all of the things that we do in our lives that make the world around us a more pleasant place to live in. When I first took over the studio in 2004, I sat down with the 2 teachers at the time, Laura and Ariel, and we had a conversation about creating community and what type of community we wanted the place that we worked and lived and practiced and thrived to be. We set a foundation for the studio then that our goal was to help people thrive, to help people feel their best so they could do their best and be their best. And we've continuously built on that principle ever since. When Jalen and I take the time to look at the business and why we're here and the foundational principles underneath everything we do and every decision that we make, there are 8 main principles that support all of our actions. So the 8 principles of Blaze start with number 1, acceptance. That's who we are and that's why we're here. You know, one of the things that we get teased about in our field, in the yoga community the most, are our mirrors. People like to say that hot yoga teachers are egomaniacs and just love to stare at themselves in the mirror. But the mirrors are there for a really strong and important reason, and it's not just checking out how great your yoga pants look. First things first, if you're into Feng Shui, hot yoga, the room is hot and mirrors are water, so fire and water, they go naturally together. And you'll notice even in studios that don't have mirrors to look in often have mirrors or mirrored glass within the room. But the mirrors are there for you so that you can see yourself. So that you can actually look at yourself, not just in a fleeting glance to make sure you don't have any spinach in your teeth, but to actually see yourself and how you adapt and react and deal with all different types of struggle and success and discomfort. Because if you keep doing that, if you keep looking at yourself in the mirror when you're going through things that you're good at and when you're going through things that you're bad at and when you're doing things that are hard for you or things that make you feel great and give you joy, you will slowly over time, regardless of who you are, begin to accept yourself. Begin to appreciate the person that you didn't think could do certain things and that you proved yourself wrong over and over and over again. And for us to be able to go out in the world and accept other people, we have to come from a place of accepting ourselves. So this work that we're doing in class, when you pick your eyes up off the floor and finally look at yourself in the mirror, it's no joke. It's the real deal. It's heavy stuff. The second pillar of the work that we do is healing. That's why we're here. We offer classes that are really great exercise, that improve your fitness and your cardiovascular health. We offer stuff that makes your body feel great and get stronger and run faster. But at the base of all of it, the reason behind why we do it is healing. There's all different types of healing, right? There's healing old injuries. There's healing emotionally, mentally, physically, right? All of those things. But we do everything we do. We even an intense HIIT fitness like hot Pilates, we brought that in because it's the most effective way to heal proximal hamstring tendinopathy, to help women with urinary incontinence, to help improve and reduce sacroiliac pain caused by labor and pregnancy. All of these things are the foundation of why we added even an intense, very exercise-focused modality like Pilates. At Blaze, our third pillar, we're committed to growth. We believe as teachers and as people that we always have to be dedicated to growth, to our professional development, and to our development as people. Right? We live by that quote, do the best you can until you know better, and then do better. By committing ourselves to growth as teachers, we allow ourselves to be more effective in helping the students that we see every day. The fourth pillar of Blaze is community. Wherever you travel in the world, you'll find that a yoga studio is a very strong and powerful community. And we've done everything we possibly can here to foster that. From our interactions with individuals and organizations in our community that help to make the Seacoast and the greater New England area a better place to live, from our connections to other teachers around the country and around the world so that we can all be more effective at our jobs, to the one-on-one interactions, personal interactions we have at the studio, connecting with each and every important individual in our community. Our fifth pillar is simply the word green. Many of you know that I grew up in Vermont, where back in the 80s we used to have to soak our glass bottles in tin cans so that we could remove the labels or they'd be rejected at the recycling center. I grew up in a small town in central Vermont where your commitment to the environment and to reducing the impact on your community was just the way people lived. And that carries over into the way that we run our business. And as a business leader, we think that it's even more important that we're committed to that because we have greater impact on our community. So in every way that we possibly can, we work to reduce our impact and to be as green as we possibly can in all situations. That means that we only purchase green cleaning products and that we try to partner with as many local and sustainable organizations as we possibly can. We buy as many yoga clothes that we sell in our retail boutique from small local businesses that are not only made in the USA, but the fabrics are printed and the textiles made in the United States as well. We believe in and are committed to reducing our impact on the world and having as much positive change as possible. Integrity is the sixth pillar of Blaze. We believe in walking the walk and talking to the talk. We would never teach or profess or promote something that we didn't actually live on our own. We practice integrity and ethics and honesty in all of our interactions in the world. Our seventh pillar is compassion, and it piggybacks off the first pillar of acceptance. It starts by developing compassion for yourself so that you can have compassion for others. We believe that compassion is the integral factor that is going to change the world we live in. And our final pillar is courtesy. I struggled with this one at first. I really love the word, but it sounds like customer service. It sounds like something you might learn at Miss Manners School. But I think that courtesy is a really important characteristic in the way that we move forward together in the world. And courtesy means the way that we interact with everyone that we touch in our lives, having respectful interactions with each person, animal, with the environment that we live in. And we work every single day to improve and to hone our craft of behaving courteously, of being courteous human beings, so that we can all reach that soul drive of Blaze, which is to help everyone around us to thrive. We're really happy to have you here as part of our community, and I'm happy for the opportunity to let you know what underlies everything that we do and all of the decisions that we make here. And we look forward to seeing you in class so we can get some work done.
Preview.